What is up, guys? This is Orca Flop. Today I'm coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the Coke Zero Sugar 400 that happened last night. What a crazy race. I don't really know what to say regarding it, other than it was chaotic and it was really intense to watch and stressful, and it was a mix of emotions, and it was crazy. So, I don't know exactly where to start. Let's start, before we get into everything that happened, let's just start in stage one and make our way up. So, stage one, you had Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman, P1 and 2. They led us to the green. They eventually lost the lead to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It was fairly calm. It seemed like the bottom early on couldn't get moving because obviously the cars weren't gripping to the track as well, but it became more slick, I believe, is when it went tonight, and it was really hard for the cars to handle in the day, transitioning to night, so that's probably why the bottom wasn't so good. And pretty much in stage one, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. kind of just cruised along and won stage one, so yeah, Stenhouse wins stage one. That's good playoff points for him. He needs those. And, yeah, what more can you say? Stage one was pretty calm. There were no crazy racing. The bottom wasn't developing. The outside seemed like the way to go in tandem with. Seemed like Denny Hamlin made some moves in stage one that could be questioned a little bit, but who cares? So, Stenhouse won stage one. Good for him. Stage two. Stenhouse, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? So, stage two starts. It's Keselowski and William Byron that restart up front due to a pit cycle going in after stage one. They get out for 1-2 on pit road. They lead us to the green flag for stage two. William Byron decides to throw a block on Keselowski in the backstretch, but then Stenhouse decides to go high and then go low and get into Keselowski's corner panel, completely hook him, turn him around, and then Brad Keselowski comes up in the pack, hits Kurt Busch, and then everyone behind just piles in, and look at that. We have our first big one. 20 cars were involved in that. That is half the field gone. That was every big competitor at Daytona. That was pretty much every good car in the field that was taken out in that wreck. It's pretty self-explanatory. I really don't know what Stenhouse was thinking. Keselowski said in his interview, though, that it was his fault. The only reason I could see it be Keselowski's fault is maybe if he's dragging the brake and accidentally came down on Stenhouse, which allowed Stenhouse's fender to hook up with Keselowski's corner panel, causing Keselowski to get loose and spin with this aero package and plate package. That's the only thing I can legitimately think of why it would be close to Keselowski's fault. But even still, I think Stenhouse hooked him and he wrecked the entire, almost half the field. And like, yeah, guys like Chase Elliott, Suarez, Hamlin, Blaney, Logano, Keselowski. A lot of good cars were taken out in that wreck. And it's funny because all three Penske cars were wrecked in the grass. It was sad. Yeah, so first big one, half the field was taken out. A lot of good cars. Nice job, Stenhouse. Great driving. And then we continue on with stage two. Stenhouse and Byron are starting up front. Kyle Busch makes, as we go into turn 3, Kyle Busch gets a run on the outside, side drafts Ricky Stenhouse Jr., then he catches up to William Byron. Guess what Stenhouse does? Goes up on Kyle Busch, turns him, puts him and Byron straight in the wall, and then they collect more cars in the back. I swear to God, that Stenhouse was trying to wreck the entire field so he could win. I swear, dude. He absolutely just hooked Kyle Busch, wrecked him and Byron, and then they ended up coming down and taking out more cars. This is the most... That Ricky Stenhouse Jr., what he showed was probably some of the worst plate track racing I've ever seen. driving style in general. You shouldn't be trying to take out the entire field just so you can run away with the benefit. That's not how I see plate racing, but apparently some casual NASCAR fans are into that. So, yeah, that's pretty much everyone who made it through the last big one just got taken out in that one. So, thanks, Stenhouse. Sucks for Byron. I actually did think Byron had a chance to win the race. He seemed like he had a fast car all day, so... And Kyle Busch, the luck isn't on his side, is it? So we continue on in stage 2. Shoot. So pretty much the rest of stage 2, Stenhouse cruises along, and he wins stage 2 because he was out front. He wrecked everyone else that was made it out of the first big one that took out half the field, 20 cars. And he ended up winning stage 2. Whoop-de-fucking-do. No one really cares. Now, this is the most chaotic part of the race, stage 3. I don't even know where to start with this stage. It was just plain and simple chaotic. I don't know what more you want me to say. This race was so chaotic, dude. In stage 3, it was such a shit show and a mess and a wreck fest that I don't even know where to start. I really don't. I guess I'll start here. Stenhouse obviously led us to green in stage 3. This race was such a fucking wreck fest, dude. I don't know what to say. I really, really don't. I don't. Oh, God. Oh, I'm losing track so bad right now. Okay, so Stenhouse led us to green in stage 3. I believe this is... Oh, God. Dude. Oh, my... I've lost track, dude. I just lost track of all the shit that happened in stage 3. Okay, let's put it this way, okay? If I missed anything, let me know in the comments, but Stenhouse leads us to green. It was actually pretty, they were actually being pretty aggressive throughout most of the stage. I believe then later on DJ Kennington spun that brought out a yellow. If there was a yellow before, oh yeah, it was Kyle Larson spinning out, yeah, before the DJ Kennington spin. I'll go back to that later. So Kyle Larson spun, collecting Enrique Stenhouse Jr. Larson was done for the night. Stenhouse got a bit of fender right front damage and left front damage, but they easily fixed that and they continue to move on with their lives. So after that, we restart. DJ Kennington spins. They take a little bit to call a caution, but eventually they do. And another thing to mention, before DJ Kennington spun, Martin Truex Jr. Purposely fell back because he tried to avoid wrecks. But because all the cars that were drafting in the single file freight train line were all damaged, that allowed Truex to go to the inside and catch up to the field with no draft. I don't know how you can explain that. I don't know how, but I guess because maybe the cars that were drafting having an aero, not the aerodynamics that they need to have by, having that damage that takes air away, and it creates more drag when you have damage like that. So I guess that's what makes the car slower, and which allowed Truex, who had the cleanest car with it. He had his aerodynamics obviously perfect, so he was able to catch up and run down the field because they were all damaged and they were lacking aerodynamics that they needed. So, it's pretty self-explanatory how Truex was able to catch up being by himself, but still, it's something we've never seen before. I don't think we've seen before, at least. God, these blinds are showing too much light. Yeah, it's too much light. I'll fix that at some point, but I'd rather not right now. So, yeah, let's continue on. So, DJ Kennington spins, and then, shoot, what else? What else am I missing? So we go green. I believe, it was fairly calm. It was Truex that was up front, along with Casey Kane and Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell had a great run today. last night. He had a great run, but I'll tell you what happened later on. He had a really fast car, and same with Casey Kane. They were really up front after all these big wrecks, and they were really holding their track position really well by staying consistently up there and with the draft, side drafting. They were really good overall, but one of them didn't finish, and I'll get to that later. So obviously it was Casey Kane and Truex at the front, along with Harvick and Bowman. And then Stenhouse in the back gets a tire rub. His tire explodes on the front stretch, and he goes and spins in the grass. So that's gonna, bring out a caution. And so we're under yellow. Pit stop cycle through. Truex and Harvick and Casey Kane are up front. We go green. So that lap goes by, and then Clint Boyer on the backstretch gets hooked by Darrell Wallace Jr. Hits hard straight into the wall. Bubba goes straight into the wall along with Harvick and Trevor Baynes in the wall. Ross Chastain and Jimmy Johnson wreck. Complete and utter shit show. That was the last big one of the race. Before that, I forgot to mention, there was a wreck with Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, and Joey Gase. That's what happened to Michael McDowell. He sadly got wrecked at the end. It really disappointing for Michael McDowell. He had such a good car all day. He was running up front consistently. I actually thought he might have had a chance to win if he kept consistently running in the front, at least the top 10. But he ended up wrecking out. So that happened. Really sad for Front Row Motorsports. Michael McDowell, I think, has a lot more talent than people think. I think he's trying to show it, but I just don't think many people realize that. But yeah, and Jimmy Johnson was also in that wreck too, but he ended up suffering minor damage, and he ended up getting through that wreck with Almirola, Michael McDowell, and Joey Gase. But let's go back to the big one that was after that. A lot of cars taken out. Jimmy Johnson was destroyed. Ross Chastain, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace. A lot of the decent remaining cars that were left were taken out in that, and there was 11 cars left at this point. And it was a battle between Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Casey Kane, and Chris Buescher, if you want to count. Maybe AJ Allmendinger as well. So, final restart. We are on overtime. We go green here at Daytona. Eric Jones, it was Casey Kane and Truex out front at first. Eric Jones makes a daring move by going 3 wide on the outside and immediately blocking Casey Kane and side drafting Truex. And for that whole final lap, I was going nuts because I wanted Truex to get his first restrictor plate win. And it was literally a side draft battle between Eric Jones and Martin Truex Jr., and it seemed like both of them had the edge over each other, but eventually Eric Jones was able to get a huge shove from Chris Buescher, pushing him out in front, able to block Truex. But then AJ Allmendinger comes down and gives Truex a push. Truex tries to go high. Eric Jones slides up, blocks him, takes away his momentum, and Eric Jones ends up cruising to his first career win. When I first saw this, I really thought this wasn't real. I started pinching myself, okay? This is how shocked I was that Eric Jones won a goddamn race. I was pinching myself. I thought I was dreaming. Maybe I was wrong about Eric Jones. I don't know. I guess I just maybe didn't like Eric Jones because he took Matt Kenseth's ride. I feel like Kenseth still deserves that ride. But hey, you know what? Checkers or wreckers, Eric Jones, you proved yourself last night. You proved yourself. You got your first career win. We have a new winner in 2018. It was a good night. Eric Jones gets his first career win, and I think it's funny how Eric Jones can win in his second year in Cup, and Chase Elliott is still working on that first win. God damn it, Choke Elliott. Fucking choking on that hot dog since 2016, dude. Anyway, so Eric Jones gets his first win. He's celebrating. Very emotional for Eric Jones, obviously. I'm happy he won because now I don't have to hate on him for being bad anymore. So because at least he has a win now. Everyone point your finger at Chase Elliott and laugh. That's what we should do. But yeah, congrats Eric Jones on your first career win. Sorry for being a complete and utter fucking asshole. But in the Daytona 500, you kind of were driving like a jackass, but hey, at least you redeemed yourself by winning it in the Coke Zero Sugar 400. So, good job, Eric Jones. Glad we have a new winner in 2018. Overall, I give it a 5 out of 10, just with the fact that it was a shit show overall and a wreck fest. But hey, Truex got second, so you got 35 playoff points from that. So I guess I should be happy about that, which I am, of course. But yeah, it felt like the fall race at Talladega last year, except we had less cars remaining this year at Daytona in the summer race than Talladega in the fall. But overall, good finish, good hard racing finish. But I'll take second for Truex. That's always fine. AJ Allmendinger got third, I think. Yeah, that was crazy. Casey King got fourth as well. So good finishes for underdogs. Overall, 5 out of 10. I mean, just with the fact that it was a damn wreckfest and Stenhouse was driving like a completely utter fucking asshole. So, yeah, 5 out of 10. Decent race. Just wish it wouldn't be such of a wreckfest. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.